Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a very, very brief hiatus, and by brief hiatus, I mean kinda super long hiatus.
Since
But that doesn't matter.
July?
Um, huh?
Since July?
It's been since February, I think, when we recapped the
February?
championship game. It's been a long time, but if you're tuned in with us, welcome back to the Spot Sports Podcast. I'm Sam. He's Quinn, and today we're going to be trying something different. We're going to be going into our new segment called "What the Hell NFL." So essentially, what this segment is five things over the first, what has it been, 7 weeks of the season that pretty much make us
This
say,
was week 7, yeah.
"What the hell?" All right.
Yeah.
So without further ado, I think we get into our first um, culprit of the "What the hell" NFL segment and talk about the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah.
Because that is truly a what the hell. I mean, if you would have told
When
me
is the
that
last time the
for-
Colts were 6-1?
probably when Peyton Manning was their quarterback.
It's either been a decade or it's getting close.
It's getting very, very close. And to do it not with some all-time great quarterback on
No.
their team, but
With Indiana
you got-
Jones.
you got Indiana Jones back there slinging the rock, just being absolutely fantastic. I mean, if you
I
would
mean,
have told
talk
me,
about a turnaround player.
you talk about that he got cut from the Giants and was on the Vikings practice squad
Yeah.
last year at the end.
I don't know how many snaps he even saw last year.
I can tell you it was less. It was less than Jameis Winston did, because I think they benched him. That's how bad he was.
Yeah.
And I mean, since the start of the season, the Colts are 6-1. They just beat the very, very good LA Chargers, who, in all honesty, were injured.
Yeah.
But it's still a very good win for them. Their wins so far: Dolphins, Broncos, Titans. Those are pretty easy wins. I mean, Raiders, Cardinals, a little bit more tough.
I think their Broncos
Only
win
losses
was,
to the
was
Rams.
respectable.
Yeah, Broncos win was tight, but it was close. Only losing by 7 to the Rams, who are a very good team. Matt Stafford's a very good quarterback.
I mean, sadly for people that do want to back, I mean, no doubt that they're good, but people that want to back them, they do not have the hardest schedule.
Exactly. Not
Like,
yet.
I think
mean,
I
they've
think
got
week
Titans
9
coming up
Pittsburgh.
again. Yeah, Pittsburgh is a tough game for sure. Chiefs obviously are always difficult in week 11.
Yep.
Um,
And that's kind of when the Chiefs might. Well, hopefully they'll turn around sooner, but you would expect them to at least have it figured out by week 12.
they are starting to turn it around
Yeah.
right now. But yeah, I mean, realistically, their only other tough games come against the Seahawks and the 49ers.
Yeah.
Like, other than that, they got Jags, Texans, Falcons. Those are not difficult games at all.
No.
So
Well,
I
I mean,
expect the Colts to make it
Jacksonville is
playoff
not
run.
looking terrible.
Uh, in the past couple weeks, they are. They just got blown out by
Yeah.
the Rams in London, and then
Oh, that's
lost
true.
to
Are
the
they? I thought they
Seahawks
were like.
by 8.
Are they not 4-2?
They are 4-3, I believe. Let me give that.
Are they
a
4-3 as of this week?
They are 4-3 as of this week. Yes,
Okay. All right. Well.
but I feel like that isn't exactly reflective because the teams they've beaten are the Panthers, the Texans, the Niners, and the Chiefs. I mean,
Yeah.
and I think the Chiefs were sort of in their regression slump phase at that point, so you
I
can't
agree,
take
I
it
agree.
too seriously. But point is, great job, Colts, 6-1. No one would have thought that coming into the season.
Also-
personally, I thought they were going to go 3-13, and they've already won.
You know
both
what I'd
games in
love to
that
see
double.
is Jonathan Taylor doing great again. He's the first in NFL. He's the first in the NFL, leads the rushing yards. You know, he's not far off of 1,000, and it's week 7.
It's
So
week 7, so he's doing fantastic. I remember he was the number 1 fantasy draft pick back in I think 2021.
yeah,
And he kind of flopped that year, and now he's just making that a big resurgence behind. I mean, frankly, the Colts have a remarkable offensive line. They just
Yeah.
never had the quarterback that could execute it. And Daniel Jones, I mean, I guess he always had the talent, but he never had the O line to protect him. And so
Yeah.
those two things come together, and what you've got is a fantastic team.
also not a bad tight end in Tyler Warren. He's got around
Yeah.
400 yards and
Tyler Warren's
always
been great. I
someone
mean,
good to
he's a
hit.
rookie.
Yeah,
Only
yeah,
29 receptions to get 370 yards is
yeah.
like kind of crazy.
Should we move on to our second topic? Not really seeing a star-studded team or a team that's shining ahead.
I mean, there's teams full of stars for sure, but
Yeah,
when you look at the power rankings this week, you look at these top teams and you're like, I don't trust any of them to win a Super Bowl.
right, right.
Um, like, I think number one this week was I think it was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, if I'm not mistaken. It is, yeah. So Tampa's number one. Don't get me wrong, I like Tampa. I love the fact that Baker Mayfield is just balling
Yeah,
out
I
right
love
now
seeing Baker doing good.
because he had so much hype coming around in college, goes to the
Yeah.
Browns, just kind of flops.
He's got similar yardage to Daniel Jones right now, and
He does.
yeah,
But also his like turnover ratio and all that is a lot
Yeah.
better than Daniel's.
yeah. He only has one interception.
That is crazy.
I believe him and Jordan Love might be the only quarterbacks in the league with one interception.
And another thing, Jordan Love, surprising that he only has one pick, considering that
Yeah,
his
he had-
sort of the knack on him was his ability to
Right,
not
last year.
keep the ball secure.
Yeah, I think
And
he
if
had
you look at
10 or
if
so.
you look at Tampa's record here, we see like they've only lost one game. I think that was pretty early on in the season.
They lost to Philly, which is
That's a
not
tough
something
loss,
that you
and
can.
it was also on a blocked kick. So like you
Yes,
can't
right.
take
That was the week. That was the week
too
that
seriously.
3 games were lost to block kicks. The Packers
kick,
lost
which
on a
is
block
also what
kick.
the hell.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think
but they've
the
also
only
beat good
sort
teams.
of- they have beat good teams. I mean,
They
Seahawks
beat your
were tough.
Seahawks and they beat the Niners.
They beat the Niners, which is a good win. Only thing I will say is the other wins they've had, Falcons, Texans, Jets. That's not exactly tough competition, and they did barely beat them.
Well, let's look
So
at the fact that
that's why
none
I'm
of
not
those
confident.
are won by more than 3 points.
Against
And
teams that are not high caliber.
yeah, exactly.
And then, I mean, if you look at the power rankings, the number 2 team is the Colts, who we've already mentioned.
Right.
The Colts are really, like, doing great, but they haven't really beaten a super tough team yet.
hmm
So we really need to see whether they can figure that out. Third is the Detroit Lions, who obviously Lions look great, but the thing I'm concerned about is that Week 1 loss against the Packers. They were not competitive.
Yeah, no, and we really came out of the gate firing, and I wish that I could say that I felt like we had the same intensity that we had week 1 against the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
And we won today, but it was a hard fought win against a
Very
team
close
that
battle
I
against
thought
the
that we were going to have an easier outcome against.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And I mean, if you look at the Lions right now, like the teams they've beaten, the Bears, who just aren't really good,
Yeah.
Ravens, who are slumping right now, Cleveland, who's just never that good, and Cincy, who Joe Burrow's hurt. Before obviously,
Well, they
losing
lost
Kansas
to
City
Cincy.
by 13. No, they didn't lose to Cincy.
or I'm sorry, not Cincy. I thought you were saying Kansas City.
No, yeah, they lost to
Yeah.
KC by 13.
Yes.
And I mean, KC's a good team, but I expect them to be more competitive against them,
Right.
Because they are kind of slumping right now.
I thought that the Lions from last year are not they're not. I don't think they're playing at the same caliber that they were last year, because the Lions last year were scary to anybody.
Yes, and that's a lot of the reason why Ben Johnson got picked up by the Bears as their head coach.
Right.
And now that the Bears are better with him, but like they're still not too
Yeah.
great. But I guess our 4th place team in power rankings, Kansas City. Like I understand why they're 4th, but they're 4-3. You can't put a 4-3 team in the
Yeah.
4th spot in the power rankings. If you look at the teams they beat the Giants. Good for them. Giants aren't that good. They beat Baltimore, who's again slumping. They beat Detroit, but that's a good win. And then they crushed the Raiders, but the Raiders are the Raiders.
Yeah.
So
Let's
that's
talk
not
about the
impressive.
1-5 Ravens.
Yeah, I mean they've lost to the Jags, they lost to the Eagles, they lost to the Chargers. Yeah, they beat the Ravens, but I mean, look at Baltimore. I mean, I know Lamar's hurt, but
Yeah.
when's the last time you saw Baltimore 1-5 with just no offense
yeah.
whatsoever?
I don't know. I mean, yeah.
I mean, if you look at the fifth place team power rankings, that's Seattle, and I personally, as a Seahawks fan, I do not think we deserve to be fifth in the power rankings. I mean, I understand that our two losses. I understand we're 4-2, and I understand that our two losses have come, courtesy of a close game against the Niners and a close game against the number one team in the NFL, the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
But I also have watched this team, and even though they're winning, they don't look convincing to me.
Are you not happy with your wins? I mean, like, as in not as in
not
like,
happy with the way
I mean, not as in Greg. I'm like, are you not happy with the caliber that you're winning at, or?
I think we could have beaten the Jaguars and more. We had a chance to finish them off, and we couldn't.
Yeah.
And I mean, this week we got the Texans, which I hope is going to be a win for us. But I mean, then again, we just don't know what's going to happen.
Do you play tomorrow night or Thursday?
Tomorrow night against Houston. It's 7:00.
Yeah.
I think.
I think that one of the things that the Packers are struggling right now with is our fourth quarter game. I think we are easily like a top 3 team in the first quarter, if I'm being honest. And then I think the second quarter we play well, and the third quarter we play well. It's just our fourth quarter performance. Like, we have allowed the most. We average the most allowed points in the fourth quarter of any team in the NFL.
And I mean, it still speaks to how good that team is that your record's still that good with
Right.
that statistic.
It's just we put ourselves in positions where we have to do impressive things.
Yeah. I still think you guys are a very good team. I still think you guys have a lot of hope for this season. We'll just see what happens because you've had some great wins, but you've also had some bad losses. I mean, that Cleveland one really sort of stands out.
Yeah, I mean, it being lost on a block kick is just awkward.
It's unfortunate, and I mean, like you said, I think there was something in the air.
Yeah.
During that week. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, but like to what we were saying earlier, all these teams that are top of the leaderboard, we found at least like 6, 7, 8 flaws.
Oh yeah, 100% with each team. Yes.
With each team, like the Bucks don't look convincing. The Colts, I can't believe in them yet. I mean, the Seahawks haven't looked convincing. The Packers haven't looked super convincing in the fourth quarter.
Yep. Also, our penalties we're plagued by penalties.
Looking like the Seahawks defense maybe in 2014, 2015 with all those penalties, but then again, you don't give up any yards because Micah Parsons
right
locks that down pretty.
Yeah, I couldn't be more happy with how he's played after this trade.
Yeah. And
unfortunate Quay Walker was injured today.
Yeah, that is a tough one.
But back in the game,
Jerry Jones is pissed off now.
Yeah.
I've read some of his Twitter comments. Those are.
Oh yeah.
The less said about those, the better.
Should we talk Giants-Broncos game?
We should. So Giants-Broncos this week, I'm going to put a case. A lot of people were saying that Seahawks-Bucks a couple weeks ago was the best game this year. I'm going to put in my case for this one being the best game of the year. Just non-stop action all the way till the end. The 2 and I believe the 2 and 4 Giants going up against
2 and 5.
Broncos.
Yeah, 2 and 5. Yeah.
And Giants came into this not having an away win,
right?
And they really fought. And it's so interesting to look at Jackson Dart's stat line in this game because he completed less than 50% of his passes. He was 15 for 33.
Right, but he had 283 yards, which is 4 more than Bo Nix had.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they were
While
pretty
throwing
even passers.
17 less passes than he was. He also got 3 touchdowns.
Yeah,
Um,
and did throw one pick, but I didn't watch the game. I don't know how ugly of a pick that was.
yeah. The crazy thing to me is that Denver did not score a single point until the fourth quarter,
Yeah,
and then scored 33 points in the fourth.
yeah.
That is
That's got to be
almost
something that you look at,
impossible.
and you got to look at that in film and say what happened. What happened here?
Exactly, because I mean, you look at the possessions for Denver. You've got touchdown, 2 point conversion,
Yep.
touchdown, 2 point conversion, touchdown, regular touchdown, then another touchdown, and then a field goal at the very last second. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 possessions and got 4 touchdowns, and 2 of them came with 2 point conversions and a field goal. I mean,
And
you don't see teams scoring 33 points in a quarter in the NFL. You barely see that in college.
well, and Denver still did all that with 12 penalties that cost them 130 yards.
I mean, it just shows you, like, you can't win a game in any other quarter except the fourth quarter.
And they also, I mean, really, this is the first 3 quarters, but they had a piss poor third down conversion, 4 for 13. I guess,
They
I mean,
did.
I don't know what happened, or if, I mean, listen, Jackson Dart and his team does not seem like a team that gets ahead and then says, okay, let's lay off the gas.
And they didn't. That's the thing. They
Yeah.
didn't. They scored 13 points in the fourth. It's not like their
Yeah.
offense was slouching. It's just that defense could not stop the Broncos' offense at the very end of the game, and
Yeah.
it showed like a lot. I also did want to talk about. Speaking, we've talked about Jackson Dart. I want to talk about Jackson Dart more because what he's done is actually really remarkable. I know the Giants are still 2-5,
Yeah.
but what he's done coming in for Russell Wilson with all the pressure on him, he's
Uh-huh.
been good so far. He's delivered, and
First
then
three touchdown game in his career.
yeah, I mean, good for him coming in, all that pressure, and like we were saying, his completion percentage is under 50%, but it doesn't matter when you get those long balls, those long completions.
He had a QBR of around 70 today, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, he had a win over Philly. I mean, that was a fantastic game from him.
It really was.
Him and Scadaboo combined. Lost to New Orleans, which is a bit sad, but
That is a tough loss, especially
You know.
because the Saints are dog
but
right
the win
now.
against the Chargers looks great.
It, Giants make no sense. They have bad losses against bad teams and great wins against good teams. So
Yeah,
makes no sense. Cam Scadaboo, Mr. CTE himself.
yeah,
That man runs headfirst into every single tackle he is presented with.
and
Does not care.
I love the attention that he's getting, and I do think he's a good player. But it's also it's a play style that doesn't lead to a 10-year career, right?
At least to a short life is what it leads
sadly,
to.
yeah,
You just hope that his brain isn't affected at
Yeah.
all by that.
yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Let's go to the Raiders-Chiefs game today, and more specifically, Mr. Geno Smith, because
Yeah.
what the heck happened to him this season? I
Yeah.
mean, Geno currently sitting at he's
A
tied for
7.9.
12th
He got a
yards,
7.9 QBR. He threw for 60 yards today.
60 yards, and he got pulled for Kenny Pickett. When you get pulled for Kenny Pickett, that's how you know you're
that's-
kind of ass.
yes.
He's got 7 touchdowns, 10 picks so far this year.
10 picks, and it's week 7, and that's
week
what
7.
like the most. That's what I believe that is what Jordan Love finished the season with last year, and it was the most in the NFL.
One of the highest counts.
It was
I think
it was
a little
10 or
more than that.
13.
I think it was a little more than that, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it was 13.
You just can't do that. And there was so much sort of hype around the Raiders earlier this season
Yeah,
because everyone's like, oh, they got Genty, oh, they got this big offensive threat. I think what people forgot to mention is that it's the Raiders.
yeah,
If a team is that bad, one player can't really save you. And I think people were kind of overestimating the job Geno Smith was going to do.
Right.
I mean, he's thrown picks on like the first play of the game a couple times, and it hasn't really panned out
But I
for
mean,
him at
95
all.
total yards. Like the majority of their yards came from Ashton Genty, who we hoped to see be really good, and he has been. But the thing is
They
that
aren't handing him the ball.
they aren't hitting him the ball, and when they are hitting them the ball, the O line is really falling through for him, and
Oh,
he gets blamed for it 100%.
yeah, they are horrible. That
Yeah.
offensive line is just it's trash. If you ever watch them, they don't set their blocks. They don't
No.
move up field and get to the second level. And it just leads to Genty having to do all the work himself. It reminds me of Kenneth Walker in Seattle.
Right.
The Seattle line never gets up field, and Walker is having to make all these plays by himself.
Yeah.
And I just hope that Genty doesn't turn into that type of back who's a great back in a bad system, because there's
Right.
only so
And
much a back can do without an O line.
it's it's that you wish that your offensive line coach saw this week 1 or week 2 and made adjustments and said, listen, you guys aren't helping this player that could be great in the league. And hopefully that turns around, but as of now his presence isn't enough.
It's not enough, because you wonder if these guys actually watch film, because
Yeah.
they do the same thing every single week. And I mean, I'm not just talking about the Raiders O line, because obviously other players do this too. I'm not going to go into my hate for Anthony Bradford, because I think that's I think we would be here for another hour, because I have
Right.
so much stuff to speak about Anthony Bradford. But I just feel bad for the Raiders. They don't deserve this, and especially Ashton Genty does not deserve this.
Yeah.
But Geno Smith kind of does deserve this, because he just has not been playing
He
up
just
to
has
that
not-
standard
yeah.
at all.
Listen, and you go. He can't fix a team, but he also is the quarterback. You are the hope for your team, and
Yeah, he had a lot of responsibility, and so it's like last year with Seattle, he wasn't that bad.
No,
And
he did his job.
yeah, he did his job. They went 10-7. Like, it wasn't good enough to make playoffs, but it was all right. And this year he's just been abysmal. The Raiders have been abysmal, and it's a real debate that they could possibly be the worst team in the NFL. And
Yeah.
speaking of the worst team in the NFL, let's
Or the Jets.
go to our debate on who we think is the worst team in national football. Just by far the worst. I mean, they haven't won a game. Their offense is horrible. Their defense is okay, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, who do they play next week? They play Cincy.
That's genuinely it's a winnable game, but I don't think they're
But
going to win.
is it a winnable game for the 0-7 Jets?
No, it's not, because they have Tyrod Taylor under center.
Was there an
2025.
an 0-7 team last year?
I don't think so. Maybe the
I don't-
Panthers?
Were the Panthers 0-7? I don't.
I don't think so. They weren't that bad.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't think the Panthers were that bad. But, we will just have to see if the Jets can win a single game. I mean, if it's not just that they're 0-7, it's
They
not
haven't
a
scored
fun
more
team
than
to
27
watch.
points.
I think that's the worst part of it, is that if you just watch a Jets game, it's just sad.
Yeah.
Like, you're not getting an entertaining game. The Jets currently 0-7. They had a close game against the Steelers, to be fair, to start.
Which is not a bad team, and they really should have won
No.
that game.
They should have won that game. And you look at their last two games, though, a 13-11 loss against the Broncos, which is one of the most dismal games I've ever seen, and then a 13-6 loss to the Panthers, which is also it's just depressing to watch the Jets play football.
Yeah, especially it's just depressing for Justin Fields because he's been sacked 19 times this year.
He has, and for a mobile quarterback, you don't expect that
No.
at all. Like, he's supposed to be elusive, but there's only so much you can do when your O-line is complete garbage.
I just think it's putting too much on his shoulders to be elusive, and if it was Lamar Jackson back there with that O-line, things might be different, but
They might.
I just think that he is a good player. He just really hasn't been able to find his stride, whether it be on the Steelers or who's before the Steelers?
Bears.
Bears, right?
Yeah. He just hasn't figured it out, and I mean, there are other bad teams that we've talked about the Raiders, awful. The Dolphins,
Right.
awful. Tua, I think, is borderline like close to being benched at this point. I mean, today he threw for 100 yards and 3 picks.
His decision making is
It's awful, and you have to think about how much the head injury has impacted that.
right. I mean, it's you can joke and say some players are like, oh, he's got CTE and so he plays like that, but to his
He
it's
genuinely
generally
might.
his decision making is
I mean,
questionable.
Antonio Brown played with CTE, so
Yeah, and
I guess anyone
to
can.
be
Who
honest,
knows
he
how many
played
people
great
play
with it.
CTE at this point. Well, yeah, because it's
You know what
Antonio
else?
Brown.
Who else
I don't
I
think
feel
any other player would be
bad
able
for
to.
on that team is Brees Hall, because he was such a star of a player his rookie year, and
I
then
was
that
high on Brees Hall,
bad leg injury, and now I mean he doesn't have he's got almost 500 yards, which is not terrible, but yeah, there's just players that are trapped on teams that are not trapped, but that are on teams where they might not be succeeding as much as they could be.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that just comes down to management. And I mean, if you look at Aaron Glenn, he's not doing his job. I don't think
Yeah.
the OC or the DC are doing their jobs, and that's why the Jets are as bad as they are. You do also have to factor in the Saints for worst team, although I think they're slightly better than New York or Miami, if I'm being honest. Like the Saints, I think once Drew Brees left, that was really the beginning of the end for them. He was kind of
That was the beginning
their
of the
talisman.
downfall.
And then they've never had a consistent quarterback since he left. Like they've gone through Derek Carr, Andy Dalton. It's just
And
no guys
and
are
they've
gonna
now
stick.
landed on Spencer Rattler.
He's not the guy. I'm just gonna say
He's not
that.
the guy, and he's
the
not
guy.
gonna. I don't know. I don't think he can. Even if they, had the ability, I don't think he's winning a playoff game.
No, I don't think he's making a playoff game.
I'm just saying if they, I just
Just
don't think that
hypothetically,
he's.
if they got lucky.
Yeah,
Yeah. He doesn't have the ability to win the Super Bowl, and realistically, that's what you want in a quarterback.
when you had when you still have Taysom Hill on your team.
It's time to wrap it up with Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
Everyone's got we can play quarterback and wide receiver. That's so cool. He's gonna throw one pass a year and catch like 10 balls, maybe for 2 touchdowns and 100 yards. That's all you're gonna get from Taysom Hill. It doesn't matter.
Do we want to look ahead at wrap it up with our the game we're most excited for going into Week 8?
Let's look at it. Yeah. So if we examine Week 8 right now, we've got, I think Minnesota Chargers could be good, or it could be just really bad.
I think it's either going to be a good game, or I think the Vikings will get punished.
Yes. 'Cause Herbert was fantastic this week.
I mean, not a terrible game to the Eagles today. I didn't watch it. I don't know the highs and lows of it, but
See, well, there's really not any good games on.
no.
Packers Steelers definitely could be good. Aaron
Yep.
Rodgers' little revenge game. And then Chiefs Commanders as well. I think those really are the only 2 games that have even any potential of being interesting. Because Titan Colts, no. Broncos Cowboys,
Giants Eagles,
maybe. Yeah,
Giants Eagles, but
maybe.
yeah, they've already played.
They've already played, and it was a good game, but I don't expect it to be a good game multiple times. Browns Patriots, no. Jets Bengals,
Bills
no.
Panthers
Dolphins,
could get
Falcons, no.
maybe a little bit interesting.
I kind of like the Panthers this year. Like,
Yeah,
low-key,
yeah.
they're not too bad, and the Bills have been slacking recently, so
Right.
we'll see how that goes.
I like seeing Bryce Young. He's not doing fantastic, but I like seeing him play well.
Yeah, I mean, he's got double the touchdowns and that he has the picks. Like,
Yeah.
that's really all you can ask for him in this stage of his career, just to
Right.
keep improving every year. But yeah, if I had to pick one game, I'd give it to Packers Steelers on Sunday
Yeah,
night.
I think I would go Packers Steelers as well. And do you have a bye or?
Seahawks have a bye next week. Yes.
Okay,
So I think that kind of offsets the Monday night game.
cool. All right, well, that I think does it just about for our return to our
Return
podcast.
episode. Yep. Thanks for tuning in. We
And
hope to do some more of these.
yeah,
Um,
I think that's very doable if we, set aside some time on a Sunday night.
exactly. Um, and yeah, I mean, this has been a pretty crazy season so far.
Yes.
With Colts doing what they're doing, and Raiders just not being there. And then, like we said, there's not really any really good teams this year.
Yeah.
So hopefully there will be some more front runners sort of emerging out of the pack as we get into sort of week 10, week 11. That's sort of where some teams separate themselves.
Yes.
And we'll just roll with it as it goes. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Remember to follow us on Spotify. Follow us on Instagram at Spotted Sports Podcast.
Yep.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And we will see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.